Hey guys, it's Truly Exclusive back again to bring you our first ever channel interview. Now, who better than RUL or Ready Up Live's very own Green Skull? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What is up, everybody? I'm Green Skull. I run Ready Up Live. That's the website, the YouTube channel. Kind of becoming like a big network now. We run a lot of social networking stuff, and yeah, we do lots of Halo stuff. We're pretty big now in the Halo community, and we've kind of overnight become a Minecraft channel also, which was kind of weird. So it's Halo and Minecraft mainly, but we seem to be pretty good at adapting to whatever we do. So it's just who knows what game will come next, but that's what we do.
Definitely. So, like he said, it's become one of the biggest channels, especially for the Halo community, and we're glad to have you guys representing us for sure. So just a little bit of background information, guys. We're going to be doing this series not by date or by time. We're definitely just going to kind of bring out top representatives within the YouTube community and bring you, their story and how they became what they are today. So, Green Skull, everyone has a story. What's yours?
What is my story? Well, I'll try to make this as short as possible. It's pretty long. It's pretty crazy. So when I was, lots of people, first of all, might as well worth saying my age. I'm 20. A lot of people, place ages on me, because I definitely look like I'm 12 or something. I look really young, and I get all sorts of ages. I get, I thought you were 16 or 14 or whatever, but I'm 20. That's what I do. So since I was 14, I've been really invested in creating gaming communities and doing stuff like that. And it all started back, I used to be a part of the Xbox Canada community. And what I did there is I created a website called Xbox Canada Tournaments. And it was actually pretty popular. We threw these tournaments for all these for the whole Xbox Canada community. All these people. It was a lot of fun. And I was 14 years old, so it was really cool to see all these people participating. Xbox Canada hooked us up with all these prizes to give away to people just for fun little tournaments, and then it all changed when I had one of my friends on Xbox Live actually ask me, he said, why am I able to join? And he's American. And it was at that point that I'm like, wait, crap, no, I guess you can't, because it's Xbox, it's Canada, and it's tournaments. And that was really the point where I just sat down and I thought, well, look, this isn't going to go any further. It's just Xbox, it's just Canada, it's just tournaments. It's so limiting that I'll never be able to branch out from that. So Ready Up Live pretty much just came from that idea. It started about, 5 and a bit years ago now. We recently had our 5th anniversary, so it's quite a while ago. And so I started that up, and it was a pretty crappy form. We've gone through a lot of iterations, and we started up Ready Up Live with the intention of just being very freeform. Like, the name itself, Ready Up Live, what does that mean, right? It's so drastically different from Xbox Canada tournaments. There was nothing limiting about the name Ready Up Live. It could be anything. We have Ready Up, which is a pretty general gaming term, which can be applied to so many things, and in specific, multiplayer, because you'll be sitting in lobbies and you'll be telling people to ready up. So that's how it started, and then Ready Up, lots of things with just the name Ready Up were taking, so I decided to add live to the end. People liked it, Ready Up Live. We just kind of grew from there. We started with a Halo, but relatively general community, moving up, and then more recent events, like a lot of stuff happened in between all this, but more recent events. VS Angel, she used to run Heidi McBloggy, and we were kind of like affiliates in a way. We didn't interact that much, but we definitely knew of each other. We were aware of each other. She was just another community member, just like I was. We were pretty much on the same level in terms of our popularity, I'd say. Maybe she's probably a little bit bigger, but she would be sharing some of my content. We'd run into each other in games and go, "Oh, what's up?" We'd play together, and then sure enough, this one day she gets a job offer at 343, and I'm like, no way! I really connected with that.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
Absolutely, because it could be me, right? That could have been me.
Yeah.
And that really stuck with me. So I sent her this big long email. I'm like, oh, congratulations! That's so cool. You have my dream job. That's amazing. And she just said, hey, do you wanna do some stuff with us? And then, yeah, moving forward from there, I've just been connecting more and more with a lot of people at 343 and in the gaming industry, and it's been a pretty crazy ride.
I mean, you've definitely become one of the biggest, community supporters, and a lot of people actually look up to you. like in general, I'm in a game yesterday, and I'm talking to one of my subscribers. His name's New Best Friend.
Yeah.
And he's like, I asked him, if you could see me interviewing one person for our first ever channel interview, who would it be? And he's like Green Skull? And that just, I'm like, wait, did I tell someone that? Like, it really stuck with me that his first thing that came to mind was Green Skull.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was so tempted to tell him, look out for that video. And, I know he's probably going to be really surprised when he finds out that it's actually you. Yeah. But it's amazing that you become that person that people kind of look up to. They love your content, they love your personality. And now people, that's just a common name within, I'm sure, the Halo community, definitely, and the Minecraft community, coming up. So, just being able to create Ready Up Live had to have been an amazing experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's even crazier being on the other end. I can, cause I know what it's like, and this is why I come on to interviews like this, right? I come and make sure I help people. In the past 2 days, past week, I've had a lot of YouTubers, actually some even bigger than me, significantly, sending me PMs on YouTube asking for help and asking for assistance with things, and I've been made sure to help as many people as I can because I really know what it's like to be in. I won't even say your position because you're doing pretty well for yourself, but I'd say even lower than that. I know what it's like to be that starting out guy who just wants to make a name for himself, wants to produce the content that people actually watch. I know what it's like to be a fan, and I know what it's like to have these people you look up to and respect so much ignore you, to send messages, and it's and I'll even admit I don't reply to everything because I get a lot of messages and stuff, but it's when there's certain messages that I know I should and shouldn't reply to. Some that are just really, really simple. Oh, I love your stuff. Sometimes I'll reply to those, but I get so many of those that it's just not feasible anymore. But it's when someone sends a huge paragraph of really well written text, asking me questions and stuff like that. I'll absolutely take time out of my day to reply to that stuff. And as a kid, that was always what I did. Growing up in the Halo community, especially with all these big names out there, sending people messages and asking people to play games or whatever, the typical stuff, and just that rejection, to know what it's like to have people reject you, but also to know what it's like to have those people play with you. These people who you're such big fans of actually acknowledge you. And I think one of the biggest ones there was back when I was 14 again. I went to Exo7 Canada, which is Microsoft's Xbox event in Toronto, and Major Nelson went there. And so I always listen to Major Nelson's podcast. So many episodes of that thing. I listened to it religiously. And to meet him in person, I remember my dad actually had to come with me because I was too young. I was the youngest one there. I wasn't really, but Microsoft Canada made an exception because my dad was there. And I remember I didn't want to approach Major Nelson because I was just so nervous because he's my idol. And my dad actually had to go up and get the talk going. And I remember him actually being really cool and actually talking to me. And I've even met people in person, who you can just tell they don't actually care about you. They have this these simple things they say to everyone. They go, oh yeah, and they kind of promote themselves, and it's just you get that strong sense of that, oh, you don't care what I'm saying, you don't care what I'm saying. But Major Nelson, super great guy, really cool, and I keep running into him at PAX and at different events and stuff. I was oh, Green Skull, I remember when you were this big or whatever, right? But I remember when I got back home, his next podcast, which again, still listen to them, not anymore, unfortunately. I've been really busy, but at that time, next podcast comes out and he actually talks about me. And to have that happen, he's oh, I met Green Skull.
Yeah, that has been amazing.
And that was one of those moments that I'm wow, to have this idol of mine recognize me like that it really stuff like that really sticks with you, and I realize how much it means to fans to interact with them as though they're just people, right? And that's really a big persona I've been going for with the whole YouTube thing. I've been trying as hard as I can to be that's why I do a lot of on-camera work and stuff like that. I'm just me, right? I don't put on an act. I'm not fake. A lot of big YouTubers, right? They even put on acting. They're not like they are in real life.
Yeah.
They play things up, but I'm me, right? I don't change at all. This is exactly how I am. People meet me in person at PAX and stuff, and I'm the same person. So I've been trying really hard to make people know that, look, I'm just a guy. I got lucky here and there, and I just happen, to have a lot of subscribers or whatever. But I'm just a gamer. I like making videos and stuff. So feel free to interact with me. Don't be shy. It's been coming from those humble roots, which is the same reason that BS Angel's so good at doing what she does, is that she comes from that community. She understands what it's like, just like I do.
Yeah, well, in general, I'm really glad that you have those views on everything, because there is a lot of YouTubers, like you said, that won't take the time. And in general, I have subscribed and, been watching some of these top YouTubers, and I always see them upload videos, like their own videos, everything like that. Even yesterday, I looked at one of you guys' videos. It said comment, liked, and then favored it or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's, on your own video, which means you're responding to comments.
Oh, absolutely.
Which definitely right there, you don't see a lot of people doing that. I don't understand why, but I guess they just don't have time to, go down and, look at those comments. And I think it's really important, and a lot more people may subscribe or like or, favorite the video if you take the time to even respond to "you're really amazing, I love your videos."
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, and yeah, it's when people get surprised too, that I don't think that should be a thing. Like, I want to be help in like changing this industry of this YouTube, because I always see that if someone will ask me a question, I'll even say on the video like, "Yo, ask me questions, I'll respond. Anything, I'll let you know what Halo 4 was like or whatever, and we can have a little conversation in the comments." And a lot of times people say, "Holy crap, he responded to me." That shouldn't be a thing. That should not happen. People should not be so surprised that this YouTuber, this guy whose job it is to make videos to keep fans happy, people should not be surprised that he's replying to comments. So I really want to make a change there. I want more people to take notice and start interacting with fans more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they definitely should be doing that, and I don't know why they aren't. But at the same time, you being who you are as a person, like you said, you reach out to the community and you realize what it is.
Yeah.
Or, how it is to be that person looking up to someone, and, you're being, I guess, the Major Nelson of, your time. You're looking at these people and, you're helping everyone, including me. So, I'm pretty sure everyone's very thankful for that, including me. In general, one more question about this topic. So, when you were coming up, when was it that you realized, okay, I've grown, I've done something right, I've uploaded something good, when was that moment?
There was a few moments. There was one that was more recent and more drastic than all the other moments, but that kind of goes with it, and I'm sure it'll happen again, that every new time that happens, it'll be bigger than the last, and it will be the significant one. It'll happen every time, because you get bigger, so out of nowhere I'll be like, oh, I just got 1 million hits in a day, right? Well, as an example for, like, the future, and that'll be, like, the new point, right? And that's just crazy, but it's not something I can imagine right now. But in the past, well, it really started, like, the YouTube thing, which I don't really go into how the YouTube started. And this was one of the major points, was, I had the Mythic map pack early for Halo 3. And, I was playing around in it. I didn't have anyone to play with. I was just, hanging out on my own, just screwing around in Forge and stuff. And one of my friends at Ready Up Live, Wagwan, he's like, "Oh, SMG, another member, actually has the map too." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Like, we should hook up so I can play with him." And SMG, me and him had actually worked before in the past on just various things over on High Impact Halo when that was still around. And so we knew of each other, we worked together, but we never really, like, stayed in touch. Until that point, we're like, "Yeah, sure, let's meet up, let's play some stuff." And what we did was we went on Sandbox, and we went to the top of Sandbox, like grid up there, and we had a goal, like, how cool would it be if we could use a golf club and hit a golf ball from up here and make it land in that tiny hole of the crypt? How cool would that be? So we tried 7 hours or something. Like, it was a preposterous amount of time. Just, I'll shoot, he'll pick it up. I'll shoot, he'll pick it up. And then we'll switch. And then it's so long. And then we nailed it. We're like, no way that just happened. So we uploaded a film to YouTube. Like, that was way too cool. And as a fluke, we're like, you know what? Let's send this to Bungie. Maybe they'll like it. We didn't think so at all. Like, we didn't think they would do anything with it or anything. But sure enough, the next day, it was posted on their blog. And our video got like 10,000 hits or something. And for our first video that we didn't do anything to be posted on Bungie stuff,
that's huge,
right? And that really kickstarted it. We started doing more and more from there. And then I think the next most significant moment was I made a Halo 4 analysis video. This is very early Halo 4 news. And I can even look at the stat, every chart I see everywhere. It was literally that video that started everything. I already had like 10,000 subscribers, maybe a little higher, but around there. And I made this analysis video because I was like, this is cool, and I actually stayed up. I planned for it. They said, hey, we're going to release an analysis video, or release a video at 7 a.m. So I had school that day, but whatever. I'm like, this could be cool. It could get a lot of hits from this. So I woke up, got everything ready, had everything set up. So I watched it and instantly analyzed it. It was the first one with an analysis video. and it's up to 100,000 or something. It was such a defining moment because I didn't expect it to be so big. Like I did it with the intention of it being big, obviously, but I didn't expect it to get the critical acclaim it received. I think I got a few things wrong in it, but I like to correct it with the annotations, or whatever. So it wasn't the perfect video, but it's a fact that I was the first one out there, and it was relatively new to Halo 4 stuff. People were super excited about it. Got posts all over the place. People really liked how I did it, and if you look at a chart, it's really interesting. You see, and I see I monitor my YouTube statistics and stuff, and it's relatively flat, like a little bit of bumps, like nothing too crazy, and then from that video onward up till today, it's just spikes, just huge mountains. Getting 100 plus subscribers a day and stuff. Literally from that point, it went from this super dull to that with one single video, and that's the most important point, I would say, for that reason. For that, it really jump started everything and just made everything so much easier. And it's really weird when you do hit that point. It's so exciting, and everything, as you can understand, I'm sure, with YouTube, every new thing that happens is just as exciting as the last every time. Even if you get 2 more subscribers than you normally do, it's such an exciting thing. So to see that carry on to today was huge. So I mean, who knows what the next one's gonna be, but I can say that was probably the most significant.
Okay, more thing, and then we're gonna definitely jump into Halo 4 for you guys.
Sure.
People coming up to you and saying, "Is that you, Green Skull?" Has that ever happened before? Your experiences?
Well, at PAX a lot. Yeah. PAX this year was a little crazy. I'm gonna tell people this for the rest of my life now. This is the coolest one. My very first game of Halo 4. Mm-hmm. I was on the show floor there playing with all the moderators, all the Waypoint moderators. We had a really good group going in. There's videos all over the net, Naked Eli has some videos and stuff of me just dominating in the tank. It happened a few times, and everyone just makes fun of me the whole time now. I'm just like the tank guy. Everyone's like, yeah, you're the guy who just killed everyone with the tank. It's my very first game of Halo 4. Super excited. I was loving it. Had this big adrenaline rush going, and I got a running riot in the tank, which was crazy for my first game of Halo 4, and I came first place in the entire game. So my very first game of Halo 4, come first place. So I'm riding on this high. Like, I'm not known for being good, but I dominate, right? Like, I mean, I can play if I want to play. And, so to have this crowd behind me, people cheering, some people I know, some people I don't, or whatever, like, watching my screen, like, cheering me on, or whatever, and, like, saying, like, oh, when I die, whatever. So this crowd, it was such a professional gaming-esque experience. And to come first place, I remember it was so cool. I just had this riding this high, like, yes, like, I felt, I was shaking. It literally was. I was shaking because, I haven't played Halo 4 yet, and it was amazing, and I came first place, adrenaline was rushing, so, like, my hands were shaking. I was just like, oh, my God, this is amazing. And my headset was actually cranked. I couldn't figure out where the volume was. So my headset was maxed. And I'm like, at first I'm like, ow, it kind of hurts. I'm like, I'll deal with it because I couldn't figure it out. So I just wanted to play. So I was just cranked. I couldn't hear anything. So I was just in the game. So I was so jacked from that. And as soon as I finished, there was a tap on my shoulder. And I pull off my headset. I'm like, what? And I look over, and there's a 343 guy. And he says, he's like, hey, this guy over here wants your autograph. So,
what?
Yeah, right after I come first place, I stand up, go over to like the line thing where people are standing behind, and I signed the guy's iPad. And I remember it was funny because I was and Minolta was there, and I was shaking because I was like enjoying it so much that I actually like messed up writing, and there was I put like dots and stuff because I was like shaking, and it was just like I couldn't keep it still. So that was pretty cool. But it happened a lot of times during PAX, like even in the airport after PAX, people were like, oh hey, are you Green Skull? It's pretty crazy. It's I don't know who. So I guess some people maybe wouldn't like that, but I love it. Like I really do. I'm not gonna lie. I love getting that recognition. It's a lot of fun. But the coolest one I think was on my very first day of moving into university. So like 3 years ago or so, I was moving into res, and one of my high school friends was with me, and we went to go pick up some booze. We're like, we're gonna have a party tonight, or whatever. Let's go get some stuff. So we went to the liquor store. And I remember I walked up, got my liquor, walked up to the girl at the desk, and she looks at me and she goes, are you Green Skull? And I'm like, what? What? It took me by surprise so much. I looked at my friend, I'm like I don't know if I imagined that. Like it was really weird. Like I can't even describe it. I'm just like, did someone like set you up to this? Like I didn't know how to feel. I'm like, so I just said, yes? And she's like, oh, like I heard you were coming to Lethbridge. Like I watch your stuff all the time. I'm like, that's weird. And she says, so I don't ID because I know who you are.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is definitely an amazing experience.
yeah. Oh, it's really cool when that happens. I have a lot of fun with that. But it's in situations like that, I absolutely, for instance, a guy ran into me in the airport after PAX. And he's like, "Oh, you racing?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah." So we started talking, and we just went for dinner. Like he and his
Really?
me and Minolta, and we just had just a big meal together, and we just talked about stuff. And I recorded something for their podcast, and like that's what I like to do. I don't want to be that guy that people will say, "Oh, I'm a fan of your stuff," and be like, "Cool," and just like walk away or something. Like, no, I'll straight up have a meal with these guys, right? Like, I want to make sure people know I'm just a guy.
Definitely. That's some really cool experiences.
Yeah.
That is really amazing, actually. But let's jump into the next thing. Like you've been telling people, you definitely attended PAX. So your overall experience, what you enjoyed, go ahead with that.
But Halo 4?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So Halo 4, it's absolutely, as far as I can tell so far, from what I have played in terms of multiplayer, it's pretty safe to say it's my favorite Halo multiplayer experience so far. With the rather limited amount I've got to play, I still got a good amount of time, but from what I have played, on the few maps or whatever, it's a great game. Like, I kept saying that. I kept telling people, I'm like, there's no way that a company made a game this good. And we're even seeing it now. We're seeing, with the flood mode and like some of the armor customization, like they're really throwing everything a fan could ever dream of into this game. Like, we got mechs now. Like, there's no way. Like, it's literally, if you sat like these kids down who loved Halo, and like, hey, what are your favorite things? What do we want in this game? And somehow 3.3 is putting it all into Halo 4. It blows my mind that they're packing it with so much great content. Like, even throwing the ball in Griffball and Oddball, like,
that's
I have no idea how they made it so good. But, I have nothing but good things to say. And in terms of abilities, and I keep telling people this, I pretty much didn't even use them. Every game, but I think one.
Yeah, there's been a huge debate about that.
Yeah.
Armor ability is overpowered, and
Yeah, exactly. So I
ruining the game.
I want to do that because I never even really used them. I only lost, I think, one game, I'm pretty sure. I did really good. For some reason, I'm good at Halo 4. I don't know why. But in all those times, I probably used armor abilities like 3 times. So, if that's not saying something, I don't know what is. The fact that I can come first place without using these abilities, without anything being overpowered enough to give me that edge or anything. Yeah. my favorite thing, I gotta say, is Jetpack. Only because it's the most useful to me. Like, everything else, everything's really toned down, because nothing that will really give you that much advantage. And Frankie said it a few times, everything like that, all your customization, your loadout stuff, it really just tailors it to how you want to play. So if you really don't want to use stuff like I didn't, you can get away with it.
And you can still be good at the game, and I think that's what people are overlooking, maybe because they haven't played it, or maybe because they're just, not too open to change.
Yeah.
Not sure.
And Promethean Vision, one that people are probably freaking out the most about, it was never really that useful to me. And I almost laugh when I see people use it as oh, I need to use Promethean Vision. Because Halo is a game that, in the entire history of Halo, unlike many other first-person shooters or other games in general out there, you almost always know pretty precisely where the other team is, right? So, for instance, and I always say, if he's not here, he's here. And that's just how it works. It's not a camping game. It doesn't work like that. It's not about, people don't really wait around as much. It's all about running to get to the objective or running to get to the other guy. So, Promethean Vision is not the most useful thing that everyone thinks it is. It's not like a sneaking around game where it's, now you can finally find your enemies. It's like, no, you kind of already knew they were there. And the funny thing was, every time and it's really obvious when Promethean Vision is used on you, because all the audio and stuff, and you see it on your radar, you see this pulse go out. A few times I was caught by Promethean Vision, because I was trying to sneak up on a guy, and I was crouching around a corner, and I see that go out, and I'm like, oh, he knows where I am. So I just stood up and ran in. There's no...
Definitely. See, that's what people may not be thinking about. If you are aware of what's going on and you're sneaking up on someone or anything like that, that second that he has to really kind of look around and see what's going on, and next second you can get the first shot, or, you can throw a nade or backsmack someone, or do whatever you have to do, and maybe something that people are overlooking or, not really realizing.
Yeah, so it's, my suggestion to people would be, don't think that's the ability you have to use. Because, if I have the choice of knowing where people are which I already kind of do if you know what you're doing in Halo, or like jetpack to just straight up jump over things and things like that. Like jetpack should be the one you take. You should take thruster pack, jetpack, anything that is more helpful than Promethean Vision. It's not as overpowered as ability as everyone seems to think it is.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely a good point. Just two more questions before I let you go. One being, it's November 6th. I'm sure, you know, you're going to be getting the game. So November 6th, midnight release, or whenever you're going to go get it, what is the first thing that you think you're definitely going to be embarking in?
In terms of, like, what game mode am I going to play and stuff first?
Yeah, the disc is in, you know, you're ready to go.
I have a tradition with Halo. For the most part. I have one exception, I think. I always play campaign on Heroic, pull an all-nighter. I usually get it done in one night. If not, I'll finish it the second night. But I make sure I turn off notifications. I just immerse myself in the experience. Solo, Heroic, the way the game's meant to be played. Go through it. And then, just to make sure, you know, there's no spoilers or anything, and just sure I know all of it. And then I hop into, like, multiplayer. And I say the exceptions because the one exception being when I got Halo 2, when I was younger, I remember my dad actually wanted to play. So we just played around on Zanzibar or whatever. I remember that. But other than that, like, yeah, it's always, I always do campaign first just to make sure, because that, to me, that is Halo.
Do you think YouTube's going to change that experience? You know, trying to bring out content or anything like that? Do you think that might kind of mess up your tradition?
See, that's the thing. I have been actually concerned about that. I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, man, you know, it's going to suck. I love making videos, and I'm really excited to make Halo 4 videos, but I am afraid that it's going to ruin my experience a little bit. But I'm going to make it very clear to my fans before Halo 4 comes out what I plan on doing, and that, look, I'm a fan before I'm a YouTuber. I really want, you know, I want my own experience. I'm going to probably take, you know, 2 days or so to enjoy the game myself, and then I'm going to get into doing stuff. So I'm not going to be, I have lots of people saying, oh, record your playthrough and stuff. That's not going to happen. I'm going to enjoy it all on my own, and then we're going to get into it.
Well, that's a good plan there.
Yeah.
Another thing is upcoming event, MLG Dollars. Are you going to be attending that?
No. I've never attended an MLG event. I'm not even against MLG as much as it's just really not my thing. It's not my style. I'm not really into competitive gaming. Never really been a big fan. I've lots of friends in it, and I appreciate what they do. It's crazy. But, yeah, I can't get into it personally.
Okay, well, that's basically it. You can tell people your YouTube channel if they, for some reason, didn't hear it, and your Twitter or anything else.
Yeah, alright, well, I'm Ready Up Live on YouTube. Be sure to check me out, subscribe and stuff. And my Twitter is just Greenskull, and my Facebook is greenskull.rul.
Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. This has been the first episode of our interviews with, like he said, RUL's very own Greenskull. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Thanks.